All right, here we go. We're going to look at solving some systems, how we can write these equations for these word problems. Michelle is making goodie bags for Christmas filled with chocolates and candy. Chocolates cost $2.50 a pound and candy costs $3 per pound. Michelle bought 15 pounds of candy for $40. All right, the first thing it asks us to do is write an equation showing that Michelle spent a total of $40. All right, she spent $40, so that's important. But the way she spent $40 was she spent $2.50 on chocolate and $3 on candy. We need some variables here. So since candy and chocolate both start with C, I'm just going to go ahead and use X and Y. I'm going to call X chocolate, and I'm going to call Y candy. So you got to know what your variables are representing when you're done at the end. All right, so for me to write an equation for that, I am going to, for my money, I'm going to do $2.50 times X plus $3 times Y for a total of $40. Now, you may also see this written like this. They may get rid of the decimals. And so if they do that, instead you may see it written 250X plus 300Y equals 40. Well, not 40. We moved the decimal 2 places here, so we got to do it here also. So instead of 40, it'd actually be 4,000. So you could do that either way. Okay? Now, for our second equation, it says write an equation showing that Michelle bought a total of 15 pounds. So we don't know how much she bought of each, but we do know that she bought some chocolate and some candy. So that equation would be X plus Y equals a total of 15. So we have a cost equation, and then we have an amount equation, the number of sold, okay? Or bought, I should say. Now on this one, this is a pretty easy one to do substitution, so I'm going to do this one substitution. If you'd prefer to use this equation, you can. Okay? So if you do this one, you may even want to do elimination. Just depends on you. But I'm going to go ahead and do this substitution. So I'm going to solve one of the equations for X. So this equation is actually X equals 15 minus Y. Okay? So I'm going to take that and plug that in for X in the other equation. So when I do that, I'm going to do 250 times 15 minus Y plus 3 times, no, I'm sorry, that's just 30Y equals 40. Okay? All right, we distribute here. 250 times 15, that's going to give us 3750 minus 250 times Y. I'm just going to go ahead and make that 2.5Y. Hope everybody's okay with that. Plus 3Y, because that's the same thing as 3.00, equals 40. I'm going to get rid of some of those decimals. Here I got to hook up. Negative 2.5 plus 3, I got to subtract, so I get 0.5Y equals 40. And then the 3750, of course, drops down. Now this is positive because the 3 was positive. All right, to get Y by itself, I'm going to subtract this 3750. So here I get 0.5Y. I'm going to use a different color here because we got a lot going on. So from here, I get 0.5Y equals 40 minus 3750 would be $2.50. Okay? Y by itself, divide by 0.5. I get a grand total of Y equals 250 divided by 0.5 if you need your calculator. 2.5 divided by 5, clear. 2.5 divided by 0.5 equals 5. So we get Y equals 5 there. So to find X, all we got to do is we take that 5 and we plug it in here. And so we get X plus 5 equals 15. So of course that means we must have X equals 10. So we need to go back and actually say what our answer is. The final answer says find out how many pounds of each. So be careful. Make sure you put them in the right order. This we found to be 10, and this we found to be 5. So I'm going to say that she bought 10 pounds of chocolate. Okay? And she bought 5 pounds of candy. So this would be my final answer right here. Okay? Now, if you want to make sure your answer's right, remember, go back and plug these things in. I can take these answers and put them in here. I can put 10 here, and I can put 5 here. 10 times 250, of course, that would be $25, right? 5 times 3 would be 15. 25 plus 15 adds up to my 40. Check. So I know that my numbers are correct. All right. All right, let's look at the next one. 20,000 tickets were sold to the Green Day concert. Stage level seats cost $105 and higher level seats cost $75. If the total money collected from selling tickets was $1,740,000, how many tickets of each type were sold? So again, this is going to kind of lead you through it. It says write an equation showing 20,000 tickets were sold. So this is our amount equation. So on these type of questions, you're going to have an amount equation and you're going to have a money equation. So the amount equation, we sold 20,000 tickets. We don't know how much of each, but we know there are 20,000 altogether. So our variables, let's do this. Let's use for stage level, we'll use S. Okay? And for higher level, we'll use H. Oops, sorry. All right. So, so for this first one, writing equations, how many tickets were sold, we would just do S plus H equals 20,000. So that's our amount equation. Now, for our money equation, there were this many sold, and so we need to know, take the amount sold and multiply that by the cost of each. So, $105 for a stage plus $75 for a higher level. Altogether, they made that big money, $1,740,000. Okay? So this one would be a good one to do by elimination or substitution. So I did the first one substitution. I'm going to do this one elimination. So I can change both of these to 105s, or I can change both of these to 75. So I'm going to do the 75 since it's a smaller number. I'm going to multiply this whole thing by negative 75, so I have a positive and a negative. Okay? And again, I got to do everything, right? So negative 75 times S is negative 75S plus, nope, not plus, go back. There it is, 1. Okay, wasn't like me, that's okay. Negative 75S minus 75H equals, and if I multiply 20,000 times negative 75 in my calculator, I will get negative 1,500,000. So big number. All right, from here we can go ahead and do our elimination. These two eliminate. So I am left with 30S equals, and all of that subtracted will give you a grand total of 240,000. To get S by itself, I'm just simply going to go back and divide by, 30. Okay? And so I get S equals, let's see, 240,000 divided by 30 in your calculator, you get 8,000. Okay? Now to find, so there are 8,000, S represents stage level, so there are 8,000 stage levels sold. And to find the higher level, we know that together they equal 20,000. So if I plug 8,000 in there, then H would definitely have to be 12,000. Everybody okay with that? 12 plus 8 gives us the 20,000. So for my final answer, I'm going to say there were 8,000 stage level, oops, forgot my A, stage level tickets, and there were 12,000, oh, forgot my column up there, higher level tickets. Okay? So that's how you're going to do that one. Again, amount equation and a dollar equation. All right, last one. This will go real fast. It says Brady's Gourmet Pretzel Shop specializes in selling the very finest chocolate-covered pretzels. Banky bought 4 white chocolate pretzels and 6 dark chocolate pretzels for $10.50. Holden bought 8 white chocolate and 3 dark chocolate for $9.75. On this one, it says write the system. It doesn't really lead you along, but on this one, you have 2 separate situations, one for Banky and one for Holden. So we're going to write a Banky situation and a Holden situation. We have white chocolate pretzels and we have dark chocolate pretzels. Are we okay with that? So when I write my equations, this is what I'm going to get. For Banky, he bought 4 white and 6 dark. 4 white, 6 dark. For a total of $10.50. Okay? And then for Holden, he bought 8 white and 3 dark. So that'd be 8W plus 3D equals a total of $9.75. Okay? And so then you have your 2 equations here. All right? Now, what I want you to do is pause the video here. Pause it and see if you can get the answers. Okay. When you do all of this, you should have ended up with W equals, well, you know what? I'm going to go on through this since it's money. If I do elimination here, I'm going to multiply this one by -2. So I have a -8 and a +8. So when I do this, I'm going to get -8W minus 12D equals -21. Because I just multiplied this 2 by everything. Okay? Then, these are my 2 new equations I'm dealing with. So, and I shouldn't have drawn my line there, forget that. There shouldn't be a line there. Actually, it should be here. So here I'm going to cancel these 2. 3 and -12 is -9D, and 975 minus 21 is -1125. Everybody okay with that? All I did was eliminate a variable. So here, to get D by itself, I go back and I divide everything by -9. So, we come back up here. D equals 1125 divided by 9 will give you a total of $1.25 for the dark. Okay? Now to find the white, I'm going to take that D and I'm going to plug it in to one of these equations. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it right there. Okay? So I'm going to do 4W plus 6 times $1.25 equals $10.50. All right? So when I do that, 4W plus 6 times $1.25 is $7.50. Okay? Subtract the 750. Okay? I get 4W equals 3 here, right? So here we go, though. We got a fraction, but that's okay. This is money, so you're not going to leave that 3/4. I want to know what 3/4 is. So if you put 3/4 in your calculator, hopefully you know that 3/4 is 0.75. Well, that means it's actually going to only be 75 cents, correct? Because it's not over $1. So those are your 2 answers. White chocolate pretzel equals 75 cents. And a dark chocolate pretzel equals $1.25. Okay? And again, you can check these to make sure they're right. So that would be your final answer there. If you want to check and make sure they're right, you plug 0.75 in here for W, and you plug $1.25 in right here for D. And when you do that, if you do this times this, get a number, this times this, get a number, and add those together, you will get $10.50. All right, I want you to, if you'll notice number 4 is the same as number 3, so that's my bad. Just cross out 4 on your worksheet, okay? But go ahead. Tuesday, I'm going to pick up the rest of this, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. So you need to go ahead and get this done this weekend if you can. I'll go over questions Monday if there are any, and I'm picking this up Tuesday.